wrap up like we do, which is right now. We're going to do it with.
May come back on.
You think so? Maybe. All right. This is how we do it at the end with the music and stuff.
If it's a wrap up, shouldn't we be playing Ice Cube or Jay-Z or something?
No, this is like the slow music in the background for this part of the show. All right. So, what's happened in the show today? What happened? Busy talking to Sky.
Great segment with Cushenberry.
Great update from Curtis Kile. He made his destination, and he's got some things going on there. Excellent interview with Dale Sky Jones.
I found Tim Beck's question to be very interesting because I think it's I think you'd hear a lot of people from California argue that when the Prop 19, is that what it was?
Yes.
Was at issue. A lot of the lawyers didn't favor it originally because they saw it as being a wide variety of different, not a consistent policy across the state, which is kind of where they are now with the non-statewide regulations, caused a lot of frustration. Each of these cases that have gone to different places are diverse from circuit court to circuit court, court of appeals on different issues, similar. Not a lot of, the lawyers were frustrated that they didn't want to deal with like another kind of local initiative, where same kind of disparity across the state. That's some of the grumblings I remember reading about some of the California lawyers. But so that's what I think what Tim was asking about. If in her response, if I understood it, was any of it's better than others, and this is the way the prohibition came about. That you got to start somewhere, and the idea that there's a wet state next to a dry state makes it more reasonable that maybe this one will become a wet state again, right? I guess that's kind of what logic is there. That once you start making it realistic, some areas, and it's, any progress of any kind is going to make it palatable even to the most ardent opponents, which I think is kind of it's kind of the philosophy behind the bill, isn't it, Jamie?
Well, it is, and she mentioned specifically that those cities that embrace it will demonstrate to those others around them how it works well and how it doesn't cause the issues that were supposed. And in fact, we have a great track record in Michigan here now for several years of demonstrating how that can work.
She talked about the financial benefits too, and how those were very seductive, and it was a component that couldn't be ignored in any serious effort.
But you can't even say that without also mentioning just the confusion factor of the albatross/catch-22 that they find themselves in, with wanting to pay taxes, being punished for doing so, and being under audit, being found that their normal deductions they would take as a regular business are not considered as such, and they then have to pay them plus penalty. That's what happened to a lot of the companies in Colorado I know, where they penalize them for that. What's interesting is that they being the federal government, still took the tax money that was paid for the sale of marijuana. Because they were paying a tax on the sale of marijuana the federal government was taking. When the Colorado dispensaries were audited, they were found to have been violation of running off advertising for the sale of marijuana. That's not allowed. Okay? See what I'm saying? So they're penalized and whatnot. But that was it. There was no issues when the IRS audited them and saw their books reflected paying taxes for the sale of marijuana. I just find that to be, something that can't really be understated. But where is the money going to go, Jamie? Is the state going to get money from the dispensary sale?
Not directly as it stands right now, other than just helping to produce more business and generate more from that angle. But there's no direct fees that go to the state as a result of this.
Naturally,
or taxes.
Until federal law changes, it doesn't even make sense to try to create a law to do that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. That
the Department of Treasury letter, says they can't. They can't do it.
I tell you what's interesting is that without hesitation, I think she said if they would have had to do it over again, they would have not moved in a not-for-profit direction, and that there's danger there because even though, not-for-profit, people make profits, you want to make the business in terms of making profit, you just can't sell the business, you can't sell stocks, people can be paid salaries, there's tax benefits that go along with it because it's not privately owned. But the point is that with that designation and the benefits that go along with it, there's additional scrutiny by the government.
And you can never really get a federal designation if you have anything to do with cannabis.
Not anything to do with it, anything to do with the sale of it.
Right, Michigan Compassion has a federal designation, but that's
one in a million. Right.
Yep.
But what I found is without hesitation, she suggested a better path would have been looking backwards for one of a more for-profit, more regulated, and acknowledge some of the differences of Colorado, whatever it may be. But I remember hearing stories of the only people that would lose cases about marijuana in California were dispensary owners when the law first passed in state court, who were being charged with some kind of felonies, and their defense was that they were a dispensary owner and that it was a non-profit organization. You had a guy who was making $65,000, $70,000 a year as an engineer, taking 3 days off work to hear the testimony of a dispensary owner that was making $250,000 as a non-profit. You know what I mean? And then they get convicted. But I digress. Final thoughts as we wrap it up here. Rick Thompson.
Well, absolutely very pleased with what's happened with Curtis Kile. There's been a ton of people reporting some donations to Curtis from the community itself. When I spoke to his daughter and his son, both of them had been ecstatic over the response they'd received from the Free Press article and from the Associated Press and UPI and all the additional rhythm it's gotten. When Curtis said that he had spent 4 hours in talks with news agencies today, that just makes me feel great. So for every Curtis Kile, there's a person out there that wants to make an effort like that but just doesn't think they can do it. Hope his story is inspirational. And this evening provides great media with Cushenberry, with Dale Sky Jones, with everybody we talked to. It was a fantastic episode. Should go down in the annals of our history books. That's me.
Jimmy, final thoughts or any announcements that we need to hear about?
No, I just hope everybody has a great 4th of July, and I agree with Rick. This was a great show, great special Wednesday night, pre-holiday edition, and I think we have a lot there to work with and a lot of good information in there tonight.
Good stuff. Chad, final thoughts?
Everyone enjoy your holiday celebrations, if any, and reflect on the history of America.
That is true, and everyone we'll be back regular time next Thursday with episode 156. I want to apologize to Steve Green for not being able to get him onto the air tonight. We'll have to get some core reports from him next week, hopefully. Be safe, everybody, and happy 4th of July.